Here's a little overview on my press. It's a 3-horse, 220, 3600 RPM motor, driving a 16-gallon per minute log splitter pump into a 4x10 cylinder. All the hoses are rated at 3,500 psi. From the factory, the controller and the pump were rated at 2750, which into this cylinder, that'd be 14-ish tons. Less on the upstroke because you lose shaft diameter, volume, so you're going to get less tonnage pulling a punch back out than you have pushing a punch in. You can change, so from the factory they're rated at 2750, but you can mess with the safety. Sometimes on the newer pumps, they make it so you can't mess with it unless you alter the set screw. There's a screw that drives a spring where the ball valve is, and sometimes they make it so you can't tighten it anymore and up that pressure. You got a lathe, you can fix that. You got to be careful when you're doing that, because you can smoke the motor. You just want to get it to where you're getting max pressure, because they're rated up to 3,000, which 3,000 into this cylinder, that'd be a 16-ton press. So you got to be careful when you're adjusting those. You can also adjust where the two stages engage. So there's the fast stage where both of them are going, and then it drops down to a slow stage. You can change that. Again, you got to be careful with that, and I probably wouldn't recommend it if you're not sure what you're doing. My controller is a cable drive. It's actually from a Case tractor, so I can move my foot pedal about 6 feet around the press, which is really nice. You can work all 3 sides of the dies to correct things for deflection, or if there's a lot of reasons to do that. It's about $80 for that cable, but it's so worth it. So I have a 10-inch stroke on this cylinder. So I designed it so that the ram is about 4 inches from the bottom plate. Because when you start adding tooling in there, you lose a lot of height. So suddenly you got 10-inch stroke, but you can only work 1 inch, 1-inch material because your dies are so big. So you got to think about that. My die system, it's kind of slow to change. You got to change 8 bolts every time, but the dies are very cheap to make. It's just 1/2x4 strap steel. Cut a chunk off, weld some chunks to it, and you got dies. I can strip this whole die system off of there and use it as a fixture plate. Some of my cold bending, I have dies that come out to here, all sorts of, you can cram whatever you want into there if you have, threaded holes that you can bolt something to. So most of the deflection on a C-shaped press is out here. It's hard to ever forge a perfect square, but you can correct that by working from both sides of the dies, or flipping your material, or using stop blocks. You have some deflection this way, but most of the deflection is this way. That's why, the cylinder is oriented the way it is. So it has a hinge here and a hinge here, so I don't snap my rod. Motor's a Harbor Freight motor. A lot of the parts I have on here are, low-cost, cheap parts that if something goes down, I can run to Tractor Supply, or I can run to Harbor Freight, and I'm down maybe an hour. I don't have to, if I had a vein pump on here or something, I don't want anything that I'm down a week. I want to be able to change parts out very fast. I have a 5-gallon tank and a block heater on it, just a cheap stick-on 3M block heater. For the winter, I heat it up to 50 degrees in the winter before I start working it. I would like to add I'd like to be around 10 gallons for summer, because in the summer, if I'm working it hard, I'm making 10, 15 hammers, that oil heats up, and I start to notice the performance is not as good. That's basically it. There's no set rule. People ask me, like, you know, can I get a 20-ton cylinder? You just got to go on Google. There are hydraulic calculators where you plug in the size of your cylinder, the pressure you're running, your flow rate. You can plug everything in and figure out your values that way. And then, like I said, you can carefully adjust some of those values. So hopefully that helps.